I'm here today at Swedish Speed in Paris, California with Mark Yarbrough, the owner of this wonderful establishment, and of course, his chief employee, Camp, right here. You know, I've known Mark for over almost 5 years, but he's been a resident of the city of Paris pretty much his entire life. Mark has served on the city council in the city of Paris for almost 20 years, and his commitment to this city has been inspiring. I can tell you that the city of Paris has come a long way under Mark's leadership during that time. But unfortunately, he was not reelected this past election in November. But as I mentioned already, Mark is the owner of this establishment, Swedish Speed, an auto repair shop that specializes in Swedish vehicles like the Volvos and Saabs. But I'm going to tell you something right now, folks. He just doesn't only work on those types of vehicles. Mark can work on any type of vehicle, and he can do it at a very competitive price. But the reason why I chose Mark to be my first guest on the Pastor Don Weekly Show is because Mark is a good Christian man who has been in my church reflections for a number of times, and he has participated in many of our church functions for the community. He is the proud owner of the official pace car for the Paris Speedway, and there's been many times that this man has been very gracious to bring his vintage car to our events. One that brings me to mind is the Hallelujah Hoedown, which is a huge Halloween alternative event that we do every single year. Well, Mark was gracious to bring that there, and we had almost 400 kids there jumping around, frolicking in his pace car. And I'll tell you, the kids had an absolutely awesome time. And I'll tell you, that's the kind of man he is. He's not only a business owner, a Christian, but he gives a lot of his time to the community. I'm excited to have you as my first guest this morning, Mark. So first of all, welcome to the Pastor Don Weekly Devotional.
Great. Thank you, Pastor Don. It's really an honor and a privilege to be able to be recognized and to share what we do with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get right to it, folks. My first question I want to ask you is this, Mark. I mean, we tried, and we really wanted to get you reelected in November, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, in your opinion, what are the biggest issues that you think the city of Paris will be facing this year in 2017?
Well, I'm seeing maintaining fiscal stability. We've gone to a great length to build reserves in the event of unforeseen. It's just like your personal savings. You need to save as much as you possibly can in the event of economic downturns. You always want to maintain staff and you want to maintain services. And if you don't have the money to do that, you can't. So it's very important that we maintain the reserves that we've built over the years. The other thing that is going to be very unclear is the fact that we have an almost brand new council. We've gone from a city council that's probably had 60 or 70 years of experience to collectively less than 6 or 7 experience, if you don't count Ms. Rogers. So the word is out there to the building community. The word is out there to retailers that we're not so sure about Paris anymore, and that news travels fast. When you have a city or county government that is not positive, that is not solid, that is unable to demonstrate that kind of stability, investors, retailers, builders, they become wary and they'll become standoffish. So we had a lot of momentum going. We have a lot of things that are in the works right now, but I'm hoping that people don't get cold feet when it comes to Paris, because right now we've built our home base. We have the rooftops, to support the community. We have so many other things that we've worked to build and have in place, but our next step is the commercial and retail. And even though we have some big boxes in place, and that's provided thousands and thousands of jobs, not just for Paris, but for the community, for people that are driving from Riverside, Moreno Valley, and the neighbors. We're at that transitional point. But I think right now it's going to be very important that the current city council send a positive message that the city of Paris is still open for business.
Let me ask you this. In 20 years that you've been a public servant for the city of Paris, what would you say would be the top 2 accomplishments that you're the most proud of during your tenure?
Well, the first one would have to be our fiscal solvency, and the fact that when I came on the city council, we were 30 days from bankruptcy.
Wow.
And we're probably one of the few cities in the state, if not the nation, that have built reserves that we have. We have 50% reserves of our general fund, which most municipalities would brag if they had 5 or 10%. So we have enough reserves to run for roughly about 6 months if not a single dollar came in. So reserves are very important.
That's great.
And I believe that the other one that I'm really proud of is the level of service that we've been able to provide back to the community, whether it's public works, senior services, activities for the kids, parks. You're hearing something right now, this big effort in California to rebuild roads and bridges. Well, we have a program that we developed years ago that we actually has been so successful, we were able to eliminate our pothole machine, because we have street maintenance that takes into consideration street conditions, replacement, resurfacing. All of that is done now on a regular basis. So unlike the rest of California, we don't have that issue because we've planned for it. So
That's awesome.
I think the strength of our the service we're delivering and our fiscal solvency are 2 of the most important things I'm very proud of to have been able to work with as a team of people.
That is wonderful. As you know, though, Mark, this is the Pastor Don weekly devotional. So, of course, I'm more interested in the Christian side of your life. So, I was wondering, is it hard being a man of God, which you are, you and I've talked about many times, but also being involved in politics as a city council representative, and not only that, but also being a business owner of this establishment? How do you able to put your Christian values into your political career as well as your business shop?
Like anything else, it's not easy. You know, we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But as Christians, we know that Jesus died for our sins, and that gives us the hope to go on every day. As a business owner, it's really important to instill in my customers that they can trust us, that they're comfortable. And especially in my business, quite often the man of the house, if you will, always has to come to the auto shop to make sure that mom or grandma or the daughter doesn't get taken advantage of. In our case here, that's never the case. Our customers are very comfortable with us. They know we will treat them fair. And I think it's important as Christian business owners that we instill that in our customers so that they understand that we can be trusted, that we'll never sell them anything that they don't need, that we will treat them fairly, because that's what everybody expects, but even more so as a Christian business owner.
Yeah, you know, the problem is, and one of the biggest fears that most people have in regards to taking their vehicle in to a shop that they've never had experience with before is the fact that they don't know if they're going to be treated fairly. Is the establishment more interested in profits than the people? Are they more interested in making money off me versus actually caring about my vehicle? So, yeah, those are the attributes that you show in your shop here that I think that I wish that more of those same types of car mechanic places would also do. But let me tell you this, there's a lot of listeners that tune in to the Pastor Don Weekly show, and a lot of them are business owners. A lot of them are managers of a department or maybe even just supervisors. And they are all Christian, and they're good Christian people. My question for you, Mark, is this. What would you advise a business owner or a Christian leader as a manager or a supervisor to continue to lead, but do it in a Christ-like fashion? What are the attributes in order to still be effective, but yet still lead in a Christ-like way?
Well, you know, we're a business. We have obligations. We're here to make a profit so we can pay our bills. Just like we want our employees to, but I think it's important just simply to be able to treat your employees like you would be treated, like you would want to be treated by Christ Himself. Be fair to people, be honest, be open, be positive. I think that makes all the difference in the world. I've tried to do that myself many times. Sometimes we have to drag the employee into the office and sit them down and correct them or write them up, or in some cases you have to let them go. But I believe if you do it with a good heart and you're honest and open with them, I think it makes all the difference in the world. I've tried to do that myself as an employer, working for some very successful dealerships, and now with the business that we run with our automotive facility that I started with my brother almost 20 years ago. And I think it's one of the reasons we've had a very low turnover with our employees, because we've treated them fair. We've been honest, we've been open with them. I try and share the word. I let people know that I am a believer, and I think that's important too. So when the person comes in using the how would you say, the colorful words, you have to let them know, you just got to understand it doesn't fit here with us.
Exactly.
I'm not going to impose my will or my beliefs or anything on it, but I think it's important to let them know that this is how I feel, this is how we believe, and also that we want our customers to know that they'll be comfortable.
That's good. And folks, I just want to tell you, if you do need your vehicle worked on, and you want to go to a place that does put the customer first above its profits, that will have honesty, integrity, and will take care of your car, Swedish Speed is the place to go. Before we let go here, Mark, tell me a little bit more about your establishment, Swedish Speed, and tell everybody how they can find you.
Okay. Swedish Speed, we're a general automotive repair facility. We specialize in Volvo. I have a master's rating from Volvo Cars of North America, as well as ASC certification as a master technician. So I love to work on cars. It's all I've ever wanted to do is work on cars. And I had the opportunity through a friend to go to work for a Volvo dealer, who I started there as an apprentice. The general manager had said, you have a lot of potential, but you need to, really build yourself up. So he encouraged me to go to a technical college in Arizona, Arizona Automotive Institute. I graduated with associate degree. He rehired me, and I've been working on Volvos ever since. And when we opened this business with my brother, who served in the Army, he was stationed over in Germany. He came back and he was looking for a job. Nobody would employ him. So we put our heads together and said, well, what do you want to do? And we started this business in a little tiny shop. I think it was 2,500 square feet over on Ramona Expressway. And our very first car that we started working on, I think, was an Oldsmobile. We did a head gasket on it. So I love to work on cars. I'm happy to look at just about anything and everything. If it's something that I can't do, or I think that you're going to get more benefit, I'll refer you to somebody that I'm comfortable with. And I have a lot of resources, from upholstery, from tires, to name it. We're a full-service automotive facility, so I do everything here. When you work on Volvos, you're trained to work bumper to bumper. So when your car comes into my shop, I do everything. I have a state-of-the-art alignment machine, air conditioning machine, we do brakes, we do services, I do everything. If you have a question, we're here to answer those questions. So from something as simple as a phone call, if you have a question or you have a need, we're happy to answer that, so hopefully we can bring you here and provide you service. But if not, we want to get your question answered and get you somewhere where you can get your needs met.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. I want to add one more thing for our listeners out there, that Mark knows that I'm trying to start a new church out in the Moreno Valley area, in the Rancho Bulago community. And he knows that it's actually more than just a church. It's actually a Jesus movement beyond Moreno Valley, but also in the Inland Empire. And I got to let you folks know that Mark has been instrumental in giving me contacts, like for the JPA and the March Air Force Base, in order to assist Donovan and I to try to work on helping the homeless issues in Moreno Valley, helping those that have mental health problems, getting them facilities. Well, Mark has been a part of that plan ever since that we've been trying to do this. So I want to make sure you know that he's not only a former councilman, but also a business owner, but also he cares so much about the community, even outside the city of Paris. And he's always been there to assist myself and other church members of Reflections with assistance in any way possible. And I know, Mark, that you're praying for my success in God's will and God's timing in hopefully opening up this church in Moreno Valley in 2017. Before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners about anything at all?
Well, as always, I believe God is delivering a message to us. Keep everything in prayer. Our nation, our states, our counties, our cities, very, very important. My experience is you're either, if you don't get involved, you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Right. So it has to be one way or the other. So be involved, be aware of what's going on. We are here to provide service in any capacity we can. We know that even though I served as a city council member, I served on regional boards, and serving as elected official for me was a privilege as a public servant, because it wasn't about the city limits of Paris, it was about our communities.
Exactly.
Whether it's the city of Moreno Valley or Riverside. Interesting enough, most of my Volvo customers come from Riverside and Moreno Valley. Exactly. So you never know, but we're here to serve, we're here to help, and just keep our nation, our states, our counties, our cities in prayer. Be involved and be a part of the solution. So there's no question in my mind that Pastor Don is going to be a success. It's how successful he's going to be. So I wish you well. We're here to support you and do everything we can as you take your next big step for the people in, I like to call North Paris or Moreno Valley.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me say it one more time. If you need a honest, with a car mechanic with integrity, and not only Volvos, but any type of car that you may have, come visit Mark Yarbrough at Swedish Speed. And of course, don't forget, you'll be able to see Champ as you walk through the doors. Mark's facility, Swedish Speed, is located at 21462 Harville Avenue, Suite number 1 in the beautiful city of Paris. Basically, folks, he's right off the 215 and Nuevo Boulevard. So, and also, the phone number of this facility is 951-657-7788. As you've heard, he's a very honest businessman. He's an awesome mechanic. And the nice part, he's just a really nice guy and a great guy to talk to. So, give him a call, come by, visit with him, allow him to work on your vehicles. You will not be disappointed. Mark, thank you so much for this time, and God bless you all.